At 66 years old, Martell Holt's mother has now become the center of a conversation that has everyone in the Love and Marriage Huntsville fan base shocked. For years, she has remained in the background, never really choosing sides or stepping into the spotlight. But this time, she did something nobody expected. Instead of defending her son or even staying quiet about all the messy drama that has surrounded him, she actually uplifted Melody Shari in a very public way. She gave Melody words of recognition, words that made it clear she respects her as a woman, as a mother, and as someone who has shown strength after all the pain. And while she was giving Melody her flowers, she also made it crystal clear that she has no respect for Arian, the woman who has caused so much drama between Melody and Martell. This shift was powerful, because when a mother takes a public stance, it holds more weight than anything a fan, a cast member, or even Martell himself can say. This moment is so important because it pulls back the curtain on family loyalties. For so long, people assumed that Martell's mom would always support her son no matter what, even if it meant staying neutral and avoiding conversations about Melody or Arian. But by openly praising Melody, she showed that she sees the bigger picture. She sees the woman who stood by Martell during their marriage, built a life with him, created a family, and then rebuilt herself after betrayal. She sees the one who managed to not only survive but thrive in the middle of heartbreak, public scandals, and constant attacks. That is not a small thing. Coming from Martell's mother, it feels like a stamp of approval, almost like she is saying that Melody will always hold a place of honor regardless of the divorce. The way Martell's mother spoke about Melody was striking. She didn't reduce her to just the ex-wife or a castmate on a reality show. She described her as a woman who carries herself with grace, who faced humiliation and betrayal, but never allowed herself to be destroyed by it. She described her as someone who stood tall in the middle of chaos and still came out shining brighter than before. For many fans, this was a huge moment of validation. They have watched Melody get dragged into endless drama, attacked by Martell, shaded by Arian, and criticized by others. Yet here was Martell's own mother saying, without hesitation, that Melody deserves respect. It hit differently, because it wasn't a blogger saying it, or a fan page repeating it. It was coming from the woman who raised Martell and knows firsthand the damage that was caused. But while Melody was being lifted up, the other part of this story is how Martell's mother dismissed Arian. This was just as important, because for years, Arian has tried to insert herself into the storyline, painting herself as more than just the side chick. She has gone live on Instagram countless times, defended her relationship with Martell, and even tried to convince people that she deserved recognition. But Martell's mom wasn't interested in any of that. She did not sugarcoat things or give Arian the attention she wanted. Instead, she drew a very clear line, pointing out that Arian willingly stepped into a relationship with a married man and destroyed a family. That truth cannot be erased no matter how many times Arian goes live. Martell's mom made it clear that Arian may have been part of Martell's chaos, but she would never be part of their family. That statement alone was enough to make fans cheer, because Arian has always craved legitimacy. She wanted to be recognized as Martell's real partner. She wanted to be compared to Melody. But in just a few words, Martell's mother erased that fantasy. She let the world know that there will always be a difference between Melody, who built her life with Martell through marriage and motherhood, and Arian, who came into the picture through scandal and betrayal. The contrast was powerful. On one side, you have Melody, the successful entrepreneur, the woman who turned pain into power, the one who continues to shine in her own right. On the other side, you have Arian, a woman tied to chaos, secrecy, and constant drama. Martell's mom made that contrast clear, and fans immediately understood the weight of her words. Social media exploded once this moment was revealed. Fans took to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to share their thoughts. On Twitter, people were writing that even Martell's mom knows who the real queen is, and that queen is Melody. Others said this was the validation they had been waiting for all along. On Instagram, fan pages reposted the clips with captions like, "Mama Holt said what we've all been thinking." Facebook groups lit up with debates and discussions. Some fans saw this as a turning point, a moment where Martell's family began to distance themselves from Arian once and for all. Others argued that it showed just how fractured things were behind the scenes in the Holt family. And then, of course, came the memes. Side-by-side comparisons of Melody's success and Arian's bitterness filled timelines. The internet had a field day amplifying Martell's mother's words, and it only made the moment bigger. But beyond the laughs and memes, there was a deeper meaning for many people. Some women saw Martell's mother as not just speaking for herself, but speaking for every mother, every sister, and every daughter who has ever had to watch betrayal tear apart a family. Her choice to uplift Melody instead of enabling Arian felt like a generational statement, a reminder that real women respect women who survive betrayal and rebuild their lives. For those fans, this wasn't just about love and marriage Huntsville. It was about respect, dignity, and choosing to honor the person who truly deserved it. Of course, Arian does have her small group of supporters. They pushed back, calling Martell's mother a hypocrite and claiming she should have stayed out of the drama if she wanted peace. Some even argued that Melody didn't need the validation, because she already has success and respect in her own right. But those voices were drowned out by the overwhelming wave of support Melody received. The majority of fans saw this as proof that even within Martell's family, people know who really deserves the crown. The timing of this is also important because it places Martell in an extremely awkward position. His mother's words don't just create drama for Melody and Arian, they directly impact him. As a son, Martell has always struggled with accountability. He dodges responsibility and often blames others for his mistakes. But now, his own mother has sided with Melody, which forces him to face a truth he cannot escape. She isn't a blogger or a fan. She is his mother, and her words carry more weight than anything he can spin to defend himself. This also affects Martell as a father. He and Melody share children, and his mother praising Melody shows she values her not only as a woman, but as the mother of her grandchildren. That is something Martell can't ignore. Imagine the kids growing up hearing their grandmother speak so highly of their mother while their father continues to defend his relationship with Arian. That could shift the entire family dynamic, leaving Martell isolated from both his own mother and his children. From a public image perspective, this is devastating for Martell. He has been trying for years to rebrand himself after the affair scandal. He has attempted business projects, appearances, and storylines that show him as a family man. But now, his own mother has exposed him by siding with Melody. Fans now see him as a man who lost his marriage, lost his reputation, and now doesn't even have the full support of his family. That's a damaging place to be, especially for someone like Martell, who thrives on control. He likes to shape the narrative, but in this case, his mother snatched the control from him. She spoke her truth, and now he has no choice but to respond. And that is where the tension builds even more. If Martell defends Arian, he risks clashing with his mother and losing even more fans. If he agrees with his mother and praises Melody, he risks hurting Arian and exposing the dysfunction of his personal life. Either way, he loses. Fans believe this might even have been his mother's way of sending him a warning. By praising Melody, she reminded him of what he lost when he betrayed her. By dismissing Arian, she highlighted the destruction and drama that came from his affair. It was almost like she was saying, look at the life you threw away, and look at the chaos you chose instead. This moment doesn't just affect Martell's personal life. It affects the show itself. Love and Marriage Huntsville has always thrived on real-life drama, and now the matriarch of the Holt family has openly shifted the narrative. Melody's storyline is stronger than ever because she is not just surviving, she is respected by even Martell's mother. Producers love this type of moment, because it adds emotional depth and natural conflict. Fans are already imagining scenes where Melody walks into a room knowing she has Martell's mother on her side, while Martell tries to explain himself. That is reality TV gold. On the flip side, Arian's chances of ever stepping into the spotlight on the show are even smaller now. For years, fans speculated if she would ever join the cast officially. But with Martell's mom dismissing her so strongly, it sends a clear message that she doesn't have the respect or legitimacy needed to join the storyline in a real way. Even if producers considered it, the backlash would be too strong. Arian has become tied to scandal without substance, and that is not the foundation producers want for the future of the show. The bigger picture is how this affects Martell's position in the group dynamic. He has already faced backlash for his affair, for the co-parenting issues, and for his ongoing battles with Melody. Now, with his own mother siding against his choices, he risks being seen as the villain of his own story. A man who not only lost his wife and reputation, but even lost the respect of his own family. This could push the rest of the cast to draw their own lines more clearly, which naturally fuels more drama. Cast members like Marceau, Letitia, Kimmy, and Maurice all watch these dynamics play out, and their alliances could shift depending on how Martell responds. For the show, this only adds more tension and anticipation for viewers. When you take a step back, it's clear this moment is bigger than just family talk. It has the potential to reshape the entire direction of Love and Marriage Huntsville. By uplifting Melody, Martell's mother placed her at the center of strength and success. By dismissing Arian, she shut the door on her chances of legitimacy. And by doing it all publicly, she forced Martell into one of the most difficult positions of his life. Fans will be watching closely to see